everyone, today's video is going to be a my dreams sort of video. Myself and Andie from Makeup in the Mundane are doing a collab video, and I will leave Andie linked down below. Of course, I have done one other collab with Andie that was back in February for Valentine's Day, and we are back again to do a video with the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. As you can tell, I already got tape on my eyes. I'm already prepared for today's video. They have told me that they haven't really gotten a whole lot of use out of the Natasha Denona My Dream, and you guys know how much I love and enjoy this palette. They chose 6 shades for me, I chose 6 shades for them. Their palette does look a little bit different than mine because they rearranged it, but I will put up the photo here that Andie chose the colors for me. They said go smoky, so that is what I'm gonna do today, which is why I have decided to do my face, I guess, last and to do my eyes first. I have tape to my eyes. I would want a clean, sharp edge, and then I did already prime my eyelids. So it seems to me that the colors I'm going to be using in terms of the mattes is this shade, the brown, and the black. In terms of shimmers, we're going to be using this shade. Then we're going to have, this is one of my favorite shades in the entire palette, and my least favorite shade in the entire palette. It says duochrome. It's like a green to pink, purple, I don't know. It's a little out there for me, but we are going to be doing a look with those shades that they chose and go over to Andie's channel to see the colors I picked out and their look. So very excited for this one. We're going to be doing not questions per se, but just to talk about our dreams, hopes and dreams. I think I'm going to start off with the peachy matte shade, and we're going to deepen and do like a liner situation. So we're going to start off with this shade. It is a little deeper than my normal, I guess, transitional color, but if this entire look is going to be dark, then this is going to be the lightest we got, and we're going to do it that way. Andie said to go smoky, so smoky is what I should do. My dream career when I was a child. My dream career as a child was, and I'm saying like elementary school age, was to be a teacher. I had a whiteboard. So my mom worked like in a kitchen of a nursing home then, so they had a whiteboard in their kitchen to like menus and stuff like that. Well, they got a new whiteboard, so they gave, or they're just gonna throw it out, and my mom's like, I'll take it. So that is how I got my whiteboard, and after school I would go home and play school by myself, usually always by myself, because if I play with someone else, like my friend or like my sister or something, they would try to be the bad kid, and I had no tolerance for the bad kids. So I would like line up my stuffed animals and my Barbie dolls and whatever, and they were all my very good students, and I would play school. And I wonder now if that is the reason why I like did so well in school, is because I come home from school and kind of play teacher with the same things I was learning at actual school. So I was teaching it while I was learning it. Maybe that's how I did so well in school. I have no clue. But that is what I wanted to be when I was younger. I really wanted to be a teacher. And I looked up to my teachers. I'm gonna go with the dark brown now. I looked up to my teachers, so maybe that's another thing. Like, I wanted to be like them. You could never catch me dead being a teacher now. If you're a teacher out there, God love you. If I had no tolerance for the bad kids, aka my sister or my friends or whatever, that I would try and play school with, I could never have the patience to deal with the children now. So, like, I have heard horror stories, so disrespectful, and then the amount of schooling you got to do to be a teacher is a little ridiculous. It is very ridiculous. So I am very glad that I did not go down that route. And by the time I got to high school, I knew I was never going to go to school for the full 4 years. So I just have my associate's degree, which hasn't really proved itself, but at least now I kind of have a job kind of utilizing my degree, so I'll take it. But yeah, my dream career as a child was a teacher. I wasn't thinking back then, obviously. This is why I enjoy the tape trick, because you guys can tell I have just been very messy with this, and this is a very big brush in terms of my eye shape, so I have just been slapping it on and going with my day on it. My dream career now, I have really no clue, honestly. Life was so much more simple when I was in elementary school and middle school, and it just, today's world, it's crazy. A lot of people who would probably answer this, that is in this type of, I don't want to say field, this is not a field, but like who do YouTube videos and stuff, I'm sure their goal is to make YouTube their job, and that is nowhere near my goal, like at all. I do this for fun, and it would be cool if it made some extra supplemental money, but I do not want it to be my full income by any means. Like, this is like my little escape from reality. I don't want it to become my reality, if that makes sense. I would love to work from home or do a hybrid sort of schedule, because I am more introverted, and I think I definitely proved that I can work by myself, for myself kind of thing, when I was in college, because that was COVID. And no one really knew how to do that. You kind of just learned as you go, learned as you went. So I have a feeling I would be a-okay if I did that. This would make a really pretty, like one of those smoky, grungy sort of looks. That's not usually my vibe, I will admit, but I think that is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Once I put my tacky base on, we'll put Vision on probably most of the lid, the shade on the inner lid, inner corner, and probably put this shade called Risk on the lower lash line. Another dream we'll talk about is house, living situation, things of that nature. So when me and my fiance were looking to buy a house, what we wanted, well, we still want it, but we wanted it over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, whatever, to have a house out in the middle of nowhere. Where I live, there's lots of middle of nowheres, and the houses that were kind of in the middle of nowhere, they were way too expensive for me. I don't really enjoy having neighbors as close. Like we don't talk to our neighbors really that much. Like, we don't interact with them. Like, we're not really friendly with them. I would definitely prefer if we lived somewhere where we wouldn't really have many neighbors. Like, this shade is beautiful. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can see on my finger. The green. I have no clue, but it is pretty. Like, we wanted to be somewhere kind of in the middle of nowhere, have a little bit of land, be able to have like a pretty decent sized garage. We currently have one garage, but it's not big enough to fit like really any sort of modern vehicle. We would like to have like a bigger garage or a separate garage or be able to have a separate garage, because where we live now, we would never be able to either build or buy a pre-made garage and put it somewhere, because we live in town. And in town, like in the borough, the town borough, like there's definitely rules and stuff. I'm not saying we would deliberately break rules or act like idiots or whatever, but it would be nice if we lived outside of places and did not have the fear of like borough council coming. We currently have 3 bedrooms, and I would prefer to have 4. Me and my fiance, we do have separate rooms, so like I do have my own beauty office space. I would love to have more, like at least 1 extra bedroom. I would prefer that. I'm bringing my shimmer up higher into the crease. That's what I am doing here, just so it makes it look like my lid is bigger than it actually is. A different layout. I'd love a different layout than what our house currently is. I would prefer a bigger kitchen. Like our apartment had a really big, spacious, nice kitchen, surprisingly. And this kitchen is small. It's like in the middle of the house. It was not designed very well, that is for sure. So I would love to have a bigger, more open kitchen, because I feel like I hate to cook in this house. Actually, I know I hate to cook in this house because the kitchen is, and I would love to be able to have a fenced-in yard, because part of the reason why like my fiance and I won't get another dog, or my excuse as to why we will never get a second dog, is because I don't have a fenced-in yard. Hope and the plan is to stay in this house long enough to do enough projects in this house to gain a lot more value, and to hopefully be able to get our dream house in the future. I'm gonna take these tapes off and like peel my skin off with it so you can see. Very sharp edge. Very, very nice and sharp. Can you see the colors there? I would love to have like a really nice deck patio area, because we do have people over. I don't want to say often, but often enough to acquire a nice deck outside area. I would love, you know, the houses with the large windows is okay if you live in like middle of nowhere. No one really should be looking in or being around you or whatever. But those houses with those huge triangle or, you know, weird windows, I love. I love natural light, but I hate the feeling of people being able to see in, and that's part of my problem. I would love to have one of those houses. What did I say? Middle of nowhere, quite a bit of land, be able to have a garage. Like I have my car, his truck, he has a motorcycle, we have a lawnmower. Like, and I'm sure if nature allowed it, he would have more toys. So it would be nice to have a big garage. My dream, I have no, like I wish I could have like infinite money, not infinite, but enough money to be able to do the things I want to do without stressing about doing them. Because the reason why we have not done more projects is because we're trying to pay off last project and some other miscellaneous things. I'm going to do the rest of my face, and I will be back so we can do the lower lash line area, and we'll see about a wing. I took the tapes off. I was going to use the black as my actual liner, so we'll have to figure that out. But I'll do at least my base and we'll be back. So I've done the rest of my face and we need to finish the eyes. And the only 2 colors that we have left is the shade Risk here and then this black shade, because to me this brown is so dark that it is acting like a black would. But I'm thinking I'll put the black in this most outer portion of the lower lash line and then really buff it out with that Risk shade. I'm just gonna take a brush and kind of put that up against the lash line, you know, like we're back in middle school, and we'll add Risk and kind of like buff that out. What other dreams of mine? I put down about meeting certain people. It would be my dream to meet some of my friends here. I mean, it'd be nice if I met all of them, but some are definitely more realistic than others. But it would be so cool if I was able to meet some of my friends here on the Instagram and on YouTube and stuff. It would just be so neat and inspiring, but it would be so neat. The main problem though is that most of my friends that I'm really close with, they live on the other side of the country. So that's a little disappointing. I think the only person, I know there are some people who live in Ohio. I'm gonna go in with that first shade that we used, and I'm just going to kind of buff this out. But it would be so neat to meet some of my friends here actually in person, be able to talk about real life things and to be able to hang out, talk, chit chat, all that good stuff. And I'm going to blow it up here, so then this doesn't look as harsh. And I'm gonna put some of the lighter shade in the inner corner. Hopefully it all blends out well. But yeah, it would be amazing if there's anybody who lives on the East Coast, preferably Upper East Coast. That'd be really neat. Are there any fellow Pennsylvanians in the house? Probably not, knowing my luck. I really love this palette, and I'm super glad that we decided to go with this palette. Granted, is this my favorite look of all time? No, because I don't usually go this dark and smoky. Also, I feel like for me to have this bold of an eye look, I feel like I need to have fake lashes on, but all of my fake lashes are, I mean, I have fake lashes, but my glue is old and I don't really want to play that game. Because we have a very prominent darkness here, I'm just going to do a very thin line across the lid. Yeah, in my opinion, too many of you guys live on the West Coast. It's a little ridiculous. Come join the cool kids group and be on the East Coast side. Because I can say, you know, East Coast, but then like Erin Taylor technically lives on the East Coast and she's in freaking Florida. I'm not going to Florida anytime soon. Who's close to me? Jan lives, is it Vermont? She lives up there, which is pretty far. Like I said, a couple people I know that live in Ohio. If people live in Pennsylvania, it's usually Pittsburgh or Philly. Like Sarah Rose is gonna be moving to the Philly area. But I avoid the cities like a plague. Sarah's still one of those like big YouTubers that I watch. I mean, she is not huge by any means, but she is one of the biggest ones I follow. and I don't know, I still really like watching her videos, so that's why I'm still subscribed. I feel like it doesn't matter how many times I layer on this mascara, it's not gonna give me the volume and the depth that I want from like what I would get from fake lashes. This mascara that I am using is one of the e.l.f. ones. I bought it before the whole e.l.f. stupid stuff, but it's the lash extender. I've never tried this mascara before, so it's really nice to try it out, except I don't like the spiky brush on it. It has one of those really spiky hard brushes, and I think like I'm about to poke my eye out. Probably not the best to be talking while putting mascara on if that's my fear. It's nowhere near my favorite mascara though, that's for certain. And then the fact that it's e.l.f., you know, goes down in points for me. Did you see that their new foundation, so they must have, in one of the lines that's really popular, I don't remember, but they came out with like a skin tint thing that has SPF in it, and they're wanting like $15 or something crazy. I'm sorry, but I would never pay $15 for a drugstore foundation. I'd pay $15 for a high-end foundation on sale, but I'm not paying $15 for a drugstore foundation. No, ma'am. So this here is my finished and final look. I hope Andie really enjoys how I went dark and smoky. I feel like when I'm far away, I just have like big black eyeballs just coming right after you, like I am some nighttime critter or something. But this is way darker than I normally go, and I hope you guys can see the like red to green flip situation. Really hope you can see that. This color combo, definitely would not have chosen it myself. And because the black, I don't know, like black eyeshadow is not my favorite as is. So this brown to me is plenty dark enough for what I usually go for. And even so, if I would have used the brown on the lower lash line and still blended it out with this Risk shade, it's like a satiny reddish color, I feel like I still would have gotten the same look. Like this brown definitely holds its own. Usually when I use this palette, I use these two shades just on the lid. I use these two shades like in the crease, and like I'm using one of these for shimmers. I rarely use some of these other ones when I use this palette, and this is getting messy. You can see my fingerprints and powders and stuff all over the place. Really do love and enjoy this palette, I do. And it was one of my favorite palettes of last year. I will link my ranking, my 2024 new palettes, the new palettes I got in 2024. I'll leave that video link down below. Today's look, again, not my favorite, but Andie told me to go smoky, to go bold, and I hope I did not disappoint. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, enjoyed today's look. Comment down below, what are some hopes and dreams that you have? Are they similar? Are they the same? What would you love your life to look like if, you know, the world wasn't a thing? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? I would love to hear them linked down below. This was super fun to talk about our dreams while also using the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona. And I will leave Andie a link down below, so please go check their channel out. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and I shall see you guys next time.